Most people spend their lives trying to be liked. They avoid conflict. They suppress their opinions. They seek approval. They apologize for taking up space. And in doing so, they become harmless, not in the noble sense, but in the powerless sense. The Stoics taught something different. They believed a person should possess strength, discipline, courage, and self-mastery, not to dominate others, not to intimidate people, but because a person who cannot control themselves can never truly control their destiny. A respected person is not respected because they demand it. They are respected because people sense something rare, a quiet power, the power to remain calm under pressure, the power to walk away from temptation, the power to endure hardship, the power to act when others hesitate. Today we're exploring the Stoic guide to becoming dangerous and respected. Not dangerous to society, dangerous to weakness, dangerous to excuses, dangerous to fear. Let's begin. Part 1. Stop seeking approval. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is to become dependent on approval. Many people make decisions based on a single question. What will people think? They choose careers based on it. They stay in unhealthy relationships because of it. They remain silent because of it. The Stoics viewed this as a form of slavery. Every time your mood depends on someone else's opinion, you've handed them power over your life. Think about that. A stranger can compliment you and make your day. Another stranger can criticize you and ruin it. Who is really in control? Not you. A dangerous person cannot be controlled through praise or criticism. They listen, they evaluate, they learn, but they do not surrender their identity to public opinion. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." The approval seeker constantly adjusts themselves to fit others' expectations. The Stoic adjusts themselves to fit reality. The moment you stop chasing validation, people begin treating you differently. Because confidence is rare and independence is powerful. Part 2. Master your emotions. Many people think emotional strength means suppressing feelings. The Stoics disagreed. They didn't teach emotional numbness. They taught emotional mastery. There is a difference. A weak person is controlled by emotion. An angry comment ruins their day. A setback destroys their motivation. A rejection crushes their confidence. Their emotions are driving the vehicle. A strong person still feels anger, still feels sadness, still feels fear, but those emotions do not control their decisions. Imagine two people being insulted. The first explodes immediately. The second remains calm. Who appears stronger? The one who controls themselves. Self-control creates an aura of power. People trust those who remain composed during chaos. People follow those who think clearly under pressure. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. The real test comes during adversity. When things go wrong, can you remain steady? That is Stoic strength. Part 3. Become comfortable with discomfort. Most people organize their lives around comfort. The Stoics trained themselves to do the opposite. Why? Because comfort can become a prison. If you require perfect conditions to function, you become fragile. You need motivation. You need inspiration. You need ideal circumstances. The Stoic trains under imperfect conditions. They act when tired. They act when afraid. They act when uncertain. This creates resilience. Every difficult thing you voluntarily endure increases your confidence. Because confidence doesn't come from positive thinking. It comes from evidence. Evidence that you've survived hardship before. Cold mornings, long hours, difficult conversations, painful failures. These experiences teach a powerful lesson. You can handle more than you think. And once you realize that, fear begins to lose its grip. Part 4. Learn the power of silence. Weak people often feel compelled to prove themselves. Strong people rarely do. One of the most overlooked forms of power is silence. The need to constantly explain yourself often comes from insecurity. You want everyone to understand your motives. You want everyone to agree. You want everyone to validate your choices. But the Stoics understood something important. You don't need permission to live according to your values. Silence allows observation. Observation creates understanding. And understanding creates leverage. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. The person paying attention usually is. When you speak less, your words gain weight. When every sentence is deliberate, people listen. A dangerous and respected individual doesn't waste energy trying to impress others. They let their actions speak. Part 5. Build competence. Respect is not built through appearance. It is built through capability. The world ultimately respects people who can do difficult things. Can you solve problems? Can you lead under pressure? Can you stay disciplined when nobody is watching? Can you create value? Competence creates confidence. Confidence creates presence. Presence creates respect. Many people want respect before earning it. The Stoic approach is different. Become so capable that respect becomes difficult to deny. Develop skills. Improve daily. Learn continuously. Master your craft. When your competence rises, your need for validation falls. Because you no longer need people to tell you you're valuable. And that certainty changes everything. Part 6. Stop reacting to everything. Modern life encourages constant reaction. Notifications, news, drama, arguments, outrage. People spend their lives responding instead of directing. The Stoics taught a different approach. Pause, assess, choose. Not every battle deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves consideration. One of the greatest forms of power is selective attention. Your focus is your life. Whatever consistently receives your attention shapes your future. If you're constantly distracted, you're giving away your potential. The respected person protects their focus fiercely. They know attention is limited, and they refuse to waste it. Part 7. Become reliable. People respect consistency, not intensity. Consistency. Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can be disciplined for a week. The challenge is maintaining standards over years. A dangerous individual becomes predictable in one important way. Their values don't change. Their standards don't collapse under pressure. Their commitments mean something. When they say they'll do something, it gets done. Reliability creates trust. Trust creates influence. Influence creates respect. In a world full of inconsistency, reliability is a superpower. Part 8. Face fear directly. Fear grows in avoidance. Every avoided challenge teaches your brain a dangerous lesson. This is too much for me. The Stoics believed courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action despite fear. Every respected person has faced situations that terrified them. They spoke when they wanted to stay silent. They acted when they wanted to retreat. They took risks when certainty was impossible. Courage creates self-respect. And self-respect comes before external respect. You cannot expect the world to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. And belief comes from action. Not wishful thinking, not affirmations. Action. Part 9. Control your desires. Many people are not controlled by enemies. They are controlled by cravings. The craving for comfort, the craving for pleasure, the craving for recognition, the craving for status. The Stoics recognized that true freedom comes from reducing unnecessary dependence. The fewer things you need, the stronger you become. If your happiness depends on circumstances, you're vulnerable. If your happiness depends on possessions, you're vulnerable. If your happiness depends on applause, you're vulnerable. Freedom begins when your inner state becomes less dependent on external events. That is genuine power. Part 10. Become unshakable. Life will test you. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Losses will come. This is not pessimism. It's reality. The Stoics prepared for difficulty because they understood something profound. What surprises us often defeats us. What we expect becomes easier to endure. When hardship arrives, the Stoic doesn't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They ask, "What does this situation require from me?" That mindset transforms adversity into opportunity. Challenges become training. Obstacles become teachers. Failures become information. And slowly, through repeated trials, a person becomes unshakable. Part 11. Earn respect, don't demand it. People who demand respect usually lack it. People who earn respect rarely need to ask for it. Respect grows from character, from discipline, from integrity, from competence, from courage. You cannot force it. You can only become the kind of person who naturally inspires it. The Stoics understood that reputation is largely outside your control. Character is not. Focus on character. Reputation often follows. The Stoic path is not about becoming feared. It is about becoming formidable, a person who cannot be manipulated by praise, a person who remains calm in chaos, a person who keeps their word, a person who faces fear, a person who acts according to principle. That is the kind of dangerous the Stoics admired. Not destructive, disciplined, not intimidating, capable, not arrogant, grounded. Because the most powerful person in any room is often the one who has mastered themselves, and self-mastery is where true respect begins.